We'll now recognize the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Gohmert, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And thank you for being here, Director. I'm looking at numbers from USCIS from March of 2014, and it indicates, looks like through March of 2014, that there have been a cumulative total since 2012 of 553,197 requests approved under DACA, the President's law that passed his lips but not Congress. Do you have any updated numbers since March? Where are we now? It's obviously more than 553,000.
Yeah, I believe that, and we'll make sure to get the committee specific updated numbers. I believe that but please don't hold me to this. The number now is.
Well, who do I hold? I want to get somebody I can hold.
I want to get you the. I just don't have it at my fingertips right now. Get you the exact information you need. I believe the number is now at 714,000 of individuals who have been DACA recipients. That is my understanding.
I see. You said that in answer to an earlier question that you've heard people say that there's a culture of getting to yes, but you've also heard people say there's a culture of getting to no. And I would submit to you, based on your own numbers, that the figures bear out there's a culture of getting to yes. You can't get to 700,000 and maybe have 20,000 no's and not have a culture of yes. So I would encourage you to look more harshly at those who say there's a culture of no. You said you observed a credible fear interview. And let me ask you, in your prosecutorial role, did you ever prosecute any drug crimes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm curious, during your prosecution of drug crimes, did you ever refer to someone who gave money to buy a big load of drugs as a drug trafficking victim? Someone that paid massive money to get a load of drugs. Did you ever refer to them as a drug trafficking victim?
Yeah, let me suggest that perhaps we're talking about apples and oranges, but no, I certainly did not refer to somebody giving.
Well, let's talk about the apples and oranges, Director. When someone pays a human trafficker to move them, then I would submit to you they're not a victim, they're a participant in the human trafficking business. They're keeping the human traffickers in business. And when I was down there, weekend before last, south of McAllen, right on the river, talking late at night to one of the Border Patrolmen there who was Hispanic, he was telling me that, 90% of the time when he asked them out there by the river, they say, oh, I was fleeing gangs and gang violence. And he said, I get tough with them because I know where they're coming from and I speak the language well. And I tell them, you may tell that garbage to somebody else, but you and I both know that it was gangs that brought you up here. That's who the drug cartels normally hire to bring people up here through Mexico. And he said 90% of the time or better, they'll say, well, you're right, but we were told to say we're fleeing gang violence. Are you aware, Director, of who it is the powerful drug cartels in Mexico hire to move people who have paid their thousands of dollars across Mexico to the U.S.? Do you know who they hire?
No, not specifically. I mean, obviously, I know that the human trafficking environment involves drug cartels, involves all kinds of alien smugglers. It's not exactly our lane, so I'm not fully familiar with.
Would you call them criminals?
Human traffickers and drug
Yes.
cartels? Sure.
Yeah, that get paid to move people illegally into the United States.
Sure, I've prosecuted alien smuggling, yes.
Okay.
Of course,
all right.
those are criminals.
And so I would submit to you, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about people who are paying criminals, and I would submit to you that the evidence will get down and dirty and show that there are many gang members that are getting paid to transport people to the U.S. only to have them get here and say, I'm fleeing gang violence. So I would encourage you to be more skeptical in these interviews without further evidence. And Mr. Chairman, I would ask that I be allowed to submit to the record the evidence from Honduran Security Minister Arturo Corrales that there has been a tremendous drop in homicides between 2012 and June of 2014, from 3,245 to 2,634. So it doesn't appear the evidence is things are deteriorating down south. Thank you. I yield back.